And the third one, I lost my loader. This Jap was coming in to finish us off, real low, skimming the water. You could barely see him if you know. And he strafed me, trying to knock me off. I thought, I'm done for. But I had guts then. Even the captain said, who's that guy? He said, that's Czechowski. He's very brave. I thought, I'm done for. But I'm going to hang in there. Maybe I can get him with God's help. He was ready to hit, and I blew him apart. Everything flew past me, and I know God was with me. How can something go like this,
Hi, this is Bruce Lindsay working with Elizabeth Gallo on our project to document the stories of veterans. Today we are with World War II veteran Ed Czechowski. Ed was a sailor with the United States Navy serving on a destroyer in the Pacific Theater during World War II.
My name is Edward M. Czechowski. I was born at 13. I was born at and lived at 202 Spruce Street, right alongside the river. My ID is 6507969. If you want, you never forget that, in case you croak right there. And my mother and father were the greatest people they were. They came from Warsaw, Poland. Very religious. They loved America. They always praised America. And they were just die-hard Americans, like I was. I enlisted. In fact, my captain said to one of the crew, one heavy air attack, they were trying to knock off a LST with prisoners, wounded, and there was one sailor, one Marine, he was wounded. Two sailors threw him in the water. They had life jackets, and they held him up. During dead in the water, I thought we're done for. We fished him out of water, put him aboard, and he said we treated him well. And he was a Marine. And he said, while he was there, they shot down 5 or 6 planes. That was me, shot them 6 down, They were trying to bomb us, and that was scary. They were missing us, but close. But they finally sunk the LST, And then we rode a typhoon. The waves were twice as high as this. A jug of water, how heavy it is. Can you imagine a wave like that? It took the Pittsburgh bow right off. And they figured a way to put coconut trees to make a bow. And they survived. 3 of our ships went over 45 degrees. That was the one you go down. The deep 6, we call it. We rolled 44 numerous times. I thought, oh boy, this is it, And of course, Guadalcanal is the first step I got into where I turned 17, And there's something like 40 islands we had to take. Guadalcanal, Tulagi, Russell Island, Green Island, Treasure Island, Boltonville, Villa Vella, Marshall Group, Saipan, Tinner, and Guam, Philippines, Manila, Leyte, Omak Bay, Leyte Gulf. That's why we got hit with 2 kamikazes. We were filling up with water, ready to sink, But thank God we had good people, knew what they were doing. I imagine they were bailing the water out and torching the seams. And the third one, I lost my loader. This Jap was coming in to finish us off, real low, skimming the water. You could barely see him if you. And he strafed me, trying to knock me off. I thought, I'm done for. But I had guts then. Even the captain said, who's that guy? He said, that's Czechowski. He's very brave. I thought, I'm done for. But I'm going to hang in there. Maybe I can get him with God's help. He was ready to hit, and I blew him apart. Everything flew past me, and I know God was with me. How can something go like this, And she seen that emblem from Japanese writing, a little tag with Japanese writing. I chipped that off, you know. I put it with the picture of my ship, you know, and and it was scary. And through that tag, there's 4 Chinese. One of them could talk Japanese and read it. He took a picture of that tag. Would you believe it? He said, "What kind of kamikaze you shoot down?" I said, "That was what color?" I said, "White, a Jap Zero." I'm a son of a gun. She was laughing. Oh yeah, here's a picture of the Jap Zero. Look, can you imagine that? And now they're, and Tojo had him snow job that we were butchers, and they were afraid of us, you know. And at Saipan, that was awful to see this. Women were so desperately afraid of us, you know, the civilians and the military. They were throwing babies to the rocks below, and they were holding babies in their hands, jumping off, killing themselves, you know. That's terrible, but, you know. And Tojo said if we take Guadalcanal, that was the last stop, they want to invade Washington. And Tojo said, Yamamoto, I think he was trained in America. He says, "I'll go wild for half a year. After that, I'm done." He says, "I'm afraid we awaken a sleeping giant. We can never win a war with America, you know," which is true, you know. When I had the motor whaleboat, there was a Jap in the water. I don't know if I told you that.
No.
I fished him in, you know. The lieutenant says, "Search that Jap, take his leather jacket off and search it." He wouldn't do it. He was chicken. The Jap had both legs eaten off by the sharks, you know. I took the jacket off, pushed him away, and I gave it to a kid by the name of Junior that worked at Western Electric in the cafeteria. He never knew what them 3 bullet holes were. It took him 25 years to know that they were bullet holes. He cursed me out, you know, laughing. You know, he found out. Then there's another time, there was another one in the water, but near the end of the war, he would have survived. And sharks would get him, no doubt. We went to pick him up, you know, as a prisoner. He refused, you know, so we left him there, you know. And like I told you, the worst place was Villa Vella. Man, we was under such a heavy air attack. We was right in the middle of all Jap Hill Islands, trying to knock them out, you know. And the air bases were all around there, and we didn't have many planes here. You know, that was frightening. That's where our captain got 3 medals. The 2, I forget the name of it. Then a Silver Star, he said, "I didn't earn a Silver Star. It's the crew did. I earned it, you know." And stuff like that, you know. But he was the best captain there was. Our 3rd captain, we call him a cupcake commando because he never seen action. And everybody hated him. He was going ashore someplace to booze with the Marines, you know. And we said, "Yay, clapping." He thought we was giving him a clap. Here we couldn't wait to get rid of him, you know. That's how much he was hated, you know. And our 2nd captain was good. And Jap Bettys, that's a Jap torpedo planes. Man, I don't know how many come in, drop their fish. We call them fish torpedoes, and heading for midship. That would have split us in half. But we had good captains, and we had the speed. Can you imagine a destroyer doing 45 knots? That's over 50 miles an hour. Emergency reverse, right, starboard, left, you know, and port, and missing torpedoes, you know. And one captain of a submarine, we knocked off this other submarine and killed them all, including the best friend, this other guy that's talking about this. We killed him. He's cursing us out after the war, our ship, what we did, but it was all right when he was throwing torpedoes at us, you know, a little, you know, whacked out. You didn't have much brains, I don't think. Oh, there was so many things happen, man. It's
You want to hold up your
oh
chip? Turn it around so they can see.
oh. It was
They want to put it on camera, hon.
We'll
okay.
take a photograph of it and put it on there.
Okay.
That ship took a beating. When we got into Guadalcanal. When we got into Guadalcanal, the De Haven was sunk immediately through the stupid captain. We didn't have nothing there, hardly any planes, because the Japs had all air bases. You hold your fire. I didn't. I opened up right away. Here, they got sunk right away. We took a bomb hit, survived. We took hits from the shore. We had to make landings. Of course, I didn't, and most of them, because I had to man my battle station 20 millimeter. And that was frightening. Well, they went in, they captured 200 Jap Marines, and they turned them over to the Chinese government. And anything else you want to ask me?
Tell them when you sunk that submarine with the submarine. Remember the submarine that you shot at it? Remember the submarine you told me?
Oh, that's a 105. It was.
Well, I don't know, honey.
Yeah.
You can tell them that story.
We knocked them off at Philippines, There was surface, filling up with singing and that. And they didn't even know we were there. We snuck up on them. They were trying to get out of the conning tower. Man, I was picking them off with 20 and small arms. They were picking them off. They couldn't even get out of there. They went down to deep 6, And Admiral Horsey, he was some admiral. Curse, smoke, drink. He was just terrible. He said, I want that Fletcher-class destroyers in Tokyo Bay. What they did, we didn't have no ships hardly when they knocked them out, Them destroyers, they did the impossible. They should have been sunk how many times? Of course, a lot of destroyers were sunk, yeah. But we didn't have to hit, because at the end of the war, and Truman was smart. He dropped the atomic bomb. And everybody's cursing us out for that. And Japan and Germany were working on the atomic bomb. They would have used it on us, And I'm talking ahead of myself, trying to think what happened. Well, like I said, every island was torture, Then there was one island, diehard guy was, on that island. He had American flag tucked in him. You know how big American flag is. I guess some have it hanging out. And one Jap soldier or Marine seen this, he bayoneted him 3 times. And he lived to tell the story on the History Channel, And I met my brother at Saipan. He was worried about me, and I was worried about him because we got word all the warships get together. We got to intercept we call them the Jap fleet. We call them, I forget the name of what we call them, but we went up to invade them. He was worried about me. And of course, he was worried about me, but it was in a peacetime, survived, and he was worried about me, but we made it, And then there was 4 of us in the service, 2 in Europe, 2 in the Pacific. My brother was in a peacetime, and then he was at the Pearl Harbor attack. In fact, I seen him on History Channel. I could tell the way he stood looking at the damage, And my other brother, he's seen action in Europe. My other brother was a bull artist. He says to me, you didn't see nothing. 16 battle stars, President of the U.S. citation from the Philippines. Well, if you look in there, all them citations I got, and my brother said, don't listen to him. He was a cook. He didn't fire a rifle. But you have that in the family. But we were in close with the Marines like that. World War II, we worked together. I don't care what outfit. I don't care if it was the Coast Guard, the Air Force. They were all terrific, Yeah. But Villa Villa was the toughest battle. I thought we're going down to deep six, you know. And anything else you want to ask?
Did you do shore bombardments in support of the landings?
No.
Did you do shore bombings?
Oh yeah,
In
I used to
support of
get
the
in that
landing.
close. I had to watch the small arms whistling by me, you know. Yeah, we used to get in that close. You could see them all close. It couldn't have been more than 125 yards. You know, that's close. You could pick them off with a. You had the M1s. We had the 30. We call them 30-06, 30 on 6. The bolt action. Man, you couldn't miss with them. You know that. That better than the M1s, and you could knock them off at 300 yards. That's how good they were. Them. Yep. And there was so much, you know, you try to eliminate a lot from it, from you, because I won't talk about this for some, I guess, 40 some years or more. But I got to the Reading Air Show. I had to open up, and you know what? Never bothered me then. Now it don't bother me. Some it affects them.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Well, last year, not this year, last year was his first time at World War II. And when the planes were doing their maneuvers, he got like, I said, Ed, it's okay, it's not real. But talking about it, he's good. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Anything else you want to ask?
Yeah.
Where did you go to boot camp?
Where did you go to boot camp?
Norfolk, Virginia. Yeah. My wife come down there. No, that was after the war. There's something else. My brother talked me into joining the Marines like a nut. I never went to meals, to the meetings. I never got paid. I got drafted for half a year up at North, where that butcher is there, that South North Korea. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I got on the hardship. The wife was pregnant and had one son, you know. Yeah. And then I thank the God I got, you know, like your judo, I got trained, you know, like someone choke you, break the shoulders and all that stuff. You know what I'm talking about.
He's always teaching me.
There was a woman, and this is unusual in Reading, because
Many years ago.
you know, you didn't have nothing like this. A woman in Nabisco Crackers, you know where that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an alleyway in there. Then they moved it in, all one building. This was at nighttime, and the moon was out. I looked above the moon to get the picture of what's going on. This woman's yelling, "Help, help." I was still fresh. I won't forget that because I had eyes behind my head, you know, from the war. And I said, I better watch her. She had a coat on. I seen her hand go in there. I said, oh. And when she put that knife on, I grabbed her, locked it. I kicked her right foot. She dropped down. I don't know if she's still there when they closed it in, you know. But I thank them. And then there's a picture in there. The best generation lived, from a Marine from Shady Maple. You know what that is, don't you?
Yeah.
He worked there, and he sent me that picture. I said, did they give you judo training? No, I was in a tank. I said, what? I got trained by, I'm teaching him, you know, like to throw him over, get under, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a knife coming this way, hit him like this way. And, and I'm in the back room, I'm teaching him. But he was a very nice guy, yeah. And there's so much, you know, there's a lot, tremendous lot I just pushed out of my head. It was so, you know, terrible, yeah. But when they sunk a ship, oh man, them sharks had a picnic eating lunch, you know. And one guy on the History Channel, he said, God, please don't let me. He got sunk. He's hanging on a raft or something. Please, God, don't let no sharks eat me. I'm a son. If I got on a shark He said, stopped, looked at him, I guess looked at him, and went on, had his lunch below there. Ain't that something? Can you imagine the 20 millimeter coming at you like that? And I guess they had the 50 caliber on the Jap planes, you know. But you see them with the tracers, man, that's getting pretty close to me, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you gotta, everybody had to be brave in World War II. I don't care who they were. Now I'm afraid of a little mosquito.
No, you're not. He always says that.
I try to knock him off before he gets to me.
Do you have any other questions for me?
Is there anything else?
Wait, he's going to ask you.
What did you do after the war for your career?
After the war, what did you do for a living? I know what you did for a living.
Oh.
Where did you work?
I worked for Shucks Motor Express, sleeper, 20 gear job, 2 gear shifts. That was something to get used to. And the hood stuck out 70 miles, you know. And I used to put on about 3,000 miles a week. That was something. And try to get used to that 2 gear shifts. Used to have the double clutch. We figured a way to how to only 1 clutch. Push in both hands, lock it, and shift, you know. But that was something to get used to. And there was one place at middle of going 400 miles. It was a, boy, you hit it, it looks like it goes up in the air, the land. You had to learn to split 3 or 4 gears at once, know where you're at, you know. We hit that, psh, otherwise you could stall, and then I wouldn't want to back down. Man, if you lost your air, that would be the end of you. Because, and then this hill, you come down, it's steep. Down below, there's no way to go but left or right. Over there's the drink. You could go right in the drink. And snow on the ground, man, you had to hug that shoulder. And the trolley brake, what we call, and the emergency brake, you couldn't use that too much. But you had to figure out just use it a little bit, hold it, because it moves around or releases itself after a while. Just a little bit that it's dragging the wheels, you know, that don't lock it, and hug that shoulder and hit that shoulder. That's how I come down where was it? Someplace in the middle, cold regions, you know, it's a hill like this. Yeah, that was something to get used to.
Okay, he's going to ask you something else.
Oh, go ahead.
Did you have a family and
Oh, yeah.
grandkids, grandkids?
Your
Oh.
sons.
The family.
Yeah, your sons.
Well, my mother and father, my 4 brothers, 5 brothers actually, and 1 woman, the sister. She was wonderful. She was a ballet teacher. And modern dancing professor. She taught Hollywood, Russian stars all over, and she had a heart of gold. The ones that didn't have money, she knew who didn't have money, you know. She says, don't tell nobody else. You don't have to pay me, you know. She was wonderful, yeah. She lived to be healthy, 98. My father, the same. In fact, almost the whole family lived pretty long, you know. I guess I got their genes, you know. And I used to get examined every half a year. The 3 places, you were there when one Polish doctor was there at the veterans. I said, rozumie po polsku? Może gadać? Oh yeah, I can talk Polish. Boy, I was in like Flynn. He's sending me what I need, anything, you know.
Okay, you want to talk about your sons,
Oh,
Eddie and John?
well, my one brother was in the peacetime Navy. He drove tractor. He drove the same as I did, Shucks motor, you know. And incidentally, there was one guy in front of us, and it was about 12 o'clock, sun's out bright, East 55th Street in Cleveland. That's close to our terminal there. And they had to slam the brakes on, and he did. And this stupid guy used to sleep in the bunk naked. He flew up against like this, holding on, and the women, they burst out laughing. You know what? He always wore shorts after that. I'll never forget that. Yeah.
He has two sons, but they both passed away. Yeah.
And my other brother, that's the bull artist, you know, he used to rip people off. He was terrible. My brother John was telling me a story on the History Channel. When he told me this, I thought right away, what it make him laugh, you know, afterwards. He says, England grabbed all the Polish pilots as fast as they could because they were that good and fly their planes. Any nation that shot down one German plane, the Polish pilots shot down 10-1. And I want to make him laugh. I said, you know why that is, don't you? He fell for it. I said, why? That's a Polish vodka they were drinking. He burst out laughing. Anything else you want to know?
Yeah, anything else you can think of?
So I would ask you, you know, you've seen a lot and experienced a lot. What advice would you have for some younger people that are...
A lot of
You
what?
probably got to talk slower,
Okay.
but you're
Yeah.
loud enough.
Yeah, you got to yell at me.
Okay.
Perfect. But
I'm from New Jersey, so I talk a little
From New,
fast.
New Jersey,
I talk
heard.
a little fast. So you've lived a long time and you've seen a lot. What advice would you give to younger people about life in general?
What's that about the
She
life?
wants you to what advice do you have for the younger generation today?
Don't smoke, don't drink, don't take drugs like me, don't swear, control your temper, and be religious. It's as simple as that. That's it. Yeah. No, we were all die hard.
Yeah, sure would.
Die hard. No, we were die hard Americans. We loved America.
Yeah, I wish more people loved America today.
That's
I
why
don't
we
see
love
it.
doing this, because I love to have this story
Right.
get out.
I'll tell you, boy, when you see two fish coming midship, man, you're hanging on for life, you know. Can you imagine? I mean, we're getting pretty close there, you know. I thought, that's it. Shh. Boy, we had good captain. Our first captain was the best. Man, there was so many shells and everything laying on deck. Don't worry about it. Let it be a garbage can. You guys went through hell, you know. Do it later, you know. The second captain wasn't bad, like I told you. The third one, he was shine your shoes in the war. What's he, nuts? Unbelievable.
Tell them the story about when yous were drinking on the ship and the captain. Oh my God, this is funny. Kind of funny.
We don't drink. No, at that time I did. I wasn't like I was now. Torpedo juice. We had 10 torpedoes, 5 in a rack. We used to always drain one torpedo juice, 180 proof. And whoever comes in, they'd give them a drink, but they'd dilute it with lemon juice. They thought they'd play a joke. They weren't too bright. Was it diluted? It looks the same with lemon juice, you know. Yeah, like a nut. I'm not lying to you. My heart went like this, stopped. I don't know how many times till I come back to normal. Good thing I had a good heart, because when they examined me, said my heart's good. I got a blood of a 15-year-old, you know, which is something. I couldn't believe this, you know. That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, but tell them the story about the captain with that when you were going somewhere and you were supposed to pick something up, but you went drinking instead or something. Remember that story? And the captain found out.
Oh yeah, he found out I was one of it. He threw me in a brig for 3 days, and they weigh you. And they would throw sandwiches, the opening at the top, over the top, and they weighed me again. I weighed more. They couldn't figure this out. I wouldn't tell them though.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. You had talked about a couple of times about was it the captain or somebody you were supposed to do a mission or something, and you came back with alcohol. Remember that story?
They call us a whiskey ship. It's in a Reader's Digest in 1950. Our squadron commander, he took it on his own, take us out of the war zone because we blew a boiler, sent us up to Sydney, Australia to get that fixed. But make sure you bring whiskey back. And Mahosey found out about it. He says, "Is that you, Ollie Bird?" When he see that was our squadron commander. He said, "Yeah, come on in." And Mahosey was facing the bulk of the wall, you know, spun around. He said, "I seen two tigers looking at me. Maybe I should say, no, I'm sticking to it. I know him." "What right do you have to take a warship out of the war zone?" "Well, it's like this. Them guys been fighting some tough battles. Sometimes 3 days, no sleep. They're shooting in their sleep. I sent them up for whiskey." He spun around. "What?" "I sent them up for whiskey. Oh, this is my career. I'll let you go this time. If you told me you pulled that ship out of the war zone, I don't care if they're doing 10 knots only. I want him there till the end." That's how he was. And he used to swim with all them sharks there. We had guys with a motor elbow with the odd six, you know, and nobody would go swimming with him. Oh, he was something else, you know.
So you actually met Admiral Halsey?
Yeah, he was terrible.
He said, "Did you actually meet Admiral Halsey? Did you meet him?"
I seen him at a distance,
Yeah.
you know, and we used to love to pick up a airman from the carriers because we didn't know what ice cream was. Half the time we ate hardtack like you guys, you know, and give them the politics, give us ice cream to take back. Ain't that something? Yeah, it was something, I'll tell you. There's so much. Of course, I wouldn't want to go through it again, but you know what? If it was an emergency, I think I would have did it again. Yeah, because I love America, like it. And these people that don't, I can't understand. They make their money, millions of dollars. They got the world at their feet. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
I don't know if you know about the kamikaze pilot that he got interviewed with.
I interviewed him over.
Pretty
He
much.
was from Taiwan, and I'm here. I don't know if you've seen that.
No,
We
they
interviewed
didn't. They
each
don't
other,
anything
you know.
about it.
Yeah.
Pretty
And
cool.
we sent him a big American flag. He loves America, Taiwan, but that was invaded by Japan. He didn't want to
was
be a
forced into
kamikaze
there.
pilot,
Wow.
but they drafted him. Thank God the war was over when he was ready to go out for a mission, you
Yeah,
know.
he's 95
He
years
was good.
old. He lives in Taiwan, has his own bookstore.
And then
He's sending some really cool stuff in there. You'll have to
Yeah.
take
Then
a
there
look.
was
Really cool
3
stuff.
other Chinese there I met at the air show, and the one that could talk Japanese and read it, like he read that sign, you know, and you got a picture of that ship, you know.
Yeah, he's a good
plane,
friend
I
of
mean.
ours now, but he went back to China.
Oh, they treated me so nice. Harrisburg,
Oh, yeah, up in
I didn't
Harrisburg.
deserve this, but I had
Yeah,
accepted.
big.
Uh,
The Senate.
Man, they all
Good
standing ovation at
girl.
at the air show. She noticed that the plane started diving out like
Yeah, he
this.
freaked
But,
out
you know,
last year.
I'm not thinking, you know, you
But
can't help it, you know.
His back was in towards the hangar, not facing out.
Right.
And they started
Yep.
doing. And he goes,
She
"Well,
pushed
I
me
don't like
around.
that." I said, "It's
She
okay.
pushed-
It's okay." That was the only thing he ever,
That's right. You were around the back, so he was.
He
His
was
back was to
facing,
yeah.
into the hangar
Yeah.
instead of out.
She pushed me around the wheelchair,
Yeah,
and they showed a picture of a Jab Zero,
I
you
have
know.
tons of
And it was a
pictures.
white
Oh my
one, like the
God.
one I shot
Tons
down.
of pictures.
And
Yeah.
a Jap Betty, that's a Jap torpedo plane, you know. They had a picture of that. And there was a picture, there's a guy there we're talking to. Remember when we know that big
There were
big
so
plane, whatever
many
it was,
people we
he
talked
come
to.
over, start shaking my hand, you know. And
Wow.
then there was a sailor and I guess his
They
wife
treat him
walking
so
by.
good.
course,
World War II.
he was young, you know.
And
I grabbed his hand and shook it, you know.
Pretty neat.
And then there was one young Marine at the Reading Air Show, the museum they call it. He wanted a picture with me. Heck yeah. And I took a picture. And then there was others took pictures with me.
Tons of pictures.
And mother and daughter, they have that picture of me on the refrigerator.